So today on Miles from Main Street.
Are you a good swimmer or something? There was one that it was like, you have to be a swimmer.
If you like it, do it. If you want it, buy it.
I was outside doing my own photo shoot by the stream and the lake. The
waterfall.
I was taking pictures of myself. I had no idea what you guys were
I didn't even.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las
This here's a wild ride in the
When invisibility doors change.
We had an off day. We don't have to go through the entire off day, but I did kind of want to talk about, and this is kind of like something that we've talked about already a little bit, but it was kind of like making decisions as a team, and like just kind of like deciding on what to do, because that actually happened a couple times, where we were like, oh, like, do we want to go do this or do we want to go do this? And I felt like we did a really good job of like managing that and like doing that as a team. When it came to kind of like going through the Christmas tree trail, which is something we did at Disney Springs, and like getting in line for Gideon's and like managing all of that stuff, I thought that went pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would think so. We did a good job of divide and conquer. Although I did feel like I missed out on Jack Lindsay's a little bit. And maybe it's only because
I wasn't going to mention it. The one guy that derailed the entire experience of everything.
Well, half the food was at the table before we even got over there from Gideon's. So
that was the idea. We got to keep it going.
We missed the smoke. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh,
Yeah.
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys saw?
That's what Tammy saw.
He was the only one there for
I
it?
was the only one there. You
sole
had
person.
just left to go back over to Gideon's.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Gideon's was pretty sweet. I feel I have to do a shout out to Tatiana Naherniak. You need to go in. Maybe she has already. I don't know. I don't know what she's done at Disney. But you need to go into Gideon's because it looks like something that you would just love. But yeah, the inside of Gideon's was very cool. That was the first time I ever did that. And just buying the cookies and the cookies are so good. Oh my God. Brian has been trying to have the conversation of Crumble or Gideon's, and I think we've come to the consensus that like you just can't. They're on two different playing fields.
I would have to agree. As much as I like to give Paige a hard time about Crumble Cookie not being very good because I've had Gideon's, I always take a bite or two anytime she has them. So, I think Crumble does have a place, and Gideon's Gideon's will always be my favorite place, though.
I feel bad for Kylo because I think I ate like
She
75% of the
did.
cookies.
I like it was. I don't know what I think I was working, and then I I worked in the morning, and then I came out and Kristen had them for breakfast. And so I was like, what? And like I had like 2 bites each of each cookie left. So, but those bites were good. And we had eaten 1 cookie while we were there. I'm pretty sure.
I think we only had like bites of it. We like, I regret not getting this infamous cookie tin that Brian got.
Yes, that was very cool. They upsold me to another cookie to get the box, and I thought I was like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll get another cookie for the box. And then Brian's over here ordering like 7 cookies and getting a tin, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, we just decided we're gonna take it back for a February trip though too, because it works really good for transporting them home. They didn't get broken up or anything, which was nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I
so you're gonna
protected them
pack
really well.
it to take with you
Yes.
and then go get more cookies.
Yes.
That's a good call. We won't have enough suitcase space to like take a tin home.
Yeah, it's true.
But I wonder if you could order it. Like, I don't know if they do that.
No, because
Like ship it?
the cool thing about Gideon's is that it's also very mysterious. Like they will do like on Instagram, they'll do like a secret cookie or whatever, and they'll only have the post up for like a couple hours, then they'll take it away. And then you have to like, or it's not even like a post saying this is the secret cookie. It's like a limerick or whatever. Like it's something that you like have to like a code you have to crack or something like that. So they're very, I doubt you could buy anything online from Gideon's because they're very kind of like it's an experience. Like it's something that you're supposed to go.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't
Like
ship
the
the
cool
cookies.
kids club.
Right. Exactly. They and he said that he's selling you an experience, so he won't ship his cookies, but you can buy his shirts and his pins and his trading cards and his whatever.
I'm
but you
going to buy a
can't get
shirt.
the cookies.
I was about to buy a shirt, but I was already kind of like, oh, we're spending a lot of money at a cookie shop. But still, like I should have just bought the shirt. I should have bought 3 more cookies also. So
You didn't have to buy 6 cookies to get the tin. You could just buy the tin.
yeah, but then you've got
His-
6 cookies to put in the tin. And you're buying
right.
6 cookies, but now I know that just buy the and this is of course Kylo needs to make things holistic. This is something we've noticed about trips that we do and just kind of like life in general. If you like it, buy it. Like
Amen.
if you want it, do it. And that's another thing that like we try to live by that now. With Disney when it comes to like things like merch or like food items or something like that. It's like, when's the next time you're going to be able to do this? What if it sells out? We don't want to like miss out on things like that. So that's kind of, especially like when you're on vacation, just if you like it, do it. If you want it, buy it. You can do with the credit
Ariana
card
Grande.
bills. Yeah.
All right. Someone needs to cut him off here.
My hair just bought it. That's Nicki Minaj.
Oh. No, that's Ariana Grande.
That's Ariana Grande? Oh, okay.
You like my hair? Gee, thanks. Just bought it. I see it. I like it. I want it. I got it.
Anyways, so yeah.
I feel like our off day goes to Brian for making us go to Gideon's.
Actually,
because
yeah.
we had never been, and now like I feel like that will be added to like we should probably go there. Like we should probably get to Disney Springs to go again.
Did you
on
like
future
the
trips.
peanut butter coffee, Kirsten? I never really got a chance to ask you.
I liked it. I wouldn't say that I like loved it. Like it was
Okay.
no like pumpkin chai from Starbucks in the fall time for me. Like that, there was something about that drink that was just amazing.
They need to have it year round.
I think they still do have it, but anyhow, it was good. I mean, I definitely get their coffee again. I thought it was fun
Okay.
going there.
Yeah,
I'd maybe try a different flavor.
I had a lot of fun that day looking at everything. I liked basically starting off our day at I'm gonna mess up the name. Is it Splitsville? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought
we
that
had
was
to rope
really
drop
cool.
the bar.
I loved
We
my
rope dropped the bar.
right. I
rope
loved
dropped
my
alcohol.
drink. It had an ornament and glitter in it, and the bartender was from Wisconsin, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, here's Brian thinking he's all smart. All right, I'm gonna give you something and see if you know where we're from. What kind of brandy you got? And Tammy looks at me. She goes, "Didn't you read her name tag? She's from Milwaukee." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm dumb."
But yeah, I really liked that drink. It was really good.
We're kind of skipping over having beignets that morning, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that
was good.
I mean, that was a great way to start the day. Was beignets, and it really did. Like I feel like we thought it was going to take more time than it actually did, but like really, we were kind of like in and out, and able to like kind of like move on with our day like pretty quickly. So
The only thing that got us is like we had to wait for a bus for a while, and then
yeah,
by the time we got to Disney Springs, like the Gideon's line was already an hour and a half.
They were saying an hour and a half, which actually was good because then they switched to the virtual queue.
Yeah.
Because when we the last time that we tried to do it like that, we got there and the line was like an hour, and I had to stand in that line
Yeah.
for an hour, and so it allowed us to go to Splitsville and have that drink and then come back, and just get in line. And it probably took 15 minutes to get in. Kristen, was that how long we stood there?
Yeah. Probably. Maybe a little less than that from like when we got into the line to getting into the building.
Yeah.
And then you guys,
And
there
it took
was
a little bit
of line.
in line in there, yeah.
I also regret that I didn't get over to Jock Lindsay's a little bit faster because I really wanted to sit inside where all the decorations were.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was part of the plan, but there were drinks that had to be had first.
Drinks that had to be dranked.
Which
and those were those. I mean, I enjoyed that.
yeah.
I don't know why people always give people so much heat about drinking early in the morning. I don't know why I like morning drinking. Like,
hey, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
exactly.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, Disney Springs was a lot of fun. We were able to do a little bit of shopping. Kristen spent way too much money on pins, and then
but the pins are amazing.
And then we ended up making our way over to. Did we go over to the monorail loop like right away, or did we?
Well, we went back and
changed. Yeah.
Yeah. We let the girls have some time to get all gussied up.
Yeah, their hour. They needed their hour.
Yeah.
I do regret wearing those shoes because I
Yes, you
still
do.
have marks from the blisters that they
Yep.
gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Yeah. I
This
told
was-
you not to wear those shoes.
But going back to Disney Springs quickly, like this was another moment that, as I look back, was like, you guys have kind of taught me a lesson there as well, because I was thinking we got to hurry up, get over and get these last few trees, hit the Planet Hollywood to get our buttons and get to the bus. And it was at the moment, living in the moment, I felt like I was herding cats, because here goes Kristen wandering off to a store. Here goes Tammy wandering off to a store. And that was the beginning of me learning that it's okay to take time for these other things, that you're still going to be able to fit it in. And I think part of it is I know what it takes to move my family through the parks versus what it takes to move the four of us through the parks.
And that's-
nobody can herd me.
And that's
anywhere.
that's for Disney adults who kind of, and I think that's like what Brian's trying to say is like, it's we kind of understand what we want to do, and it's not kind of like, oh, let's go check out what's over here. It's, I know this is over here, I want to go look at it because like we know, like we've done the research, we know what we want to get done. So like, yeah, and thinking back to it, like that makes a lot of sense, Brian, where it's like you're so used to like hurting your family, who is just kind of like, hey, let's go walk over here, or hey, what's over here, or stuff like that. Whereas with us, it's pretty much we know what we want to accomplish, and we know kind of like where we're going. So it's a lot easier that way.
Well, and also like we can walk into a store and do a quick glance around and be like, nope, what I'm looking for isn't in here. Whereas like, we take our kids into a store and it's half an hour. Like,
Speaking of that, I don't think I ever told you guys this, but when we all walked into what's that one?
The cake store?
Not the cake store. It was the what's it called? The co-op. When we all walked into the co-op, I must have gone a different direction than you guys, because all of a sudden I lost you guys. I did like 6 laps of the co-op. Like, where are these people? Oh my god, did I lose them? How have I not seen them at all? And from the sounds of it, I think you guys like walked in and walked out. And I was like in the co-op, just like frantically looking for all of my friends and the group that I was with. And then I think I texted Brian and he was like, we're over by the pin store. And I was like, God. Oh my God. But yeah, I definitely did like a bunch of laps
Yeah.
of the co-op.
We took a left turn, I think, as soon as we came in. You were looking for the dress shop.
Yeah.
Which isn't there anymore.
You guys
Yeah.
just went, you guys, because when I do the co-op, I go right every single time to like do like the loop and then end in the dress shop. And I think you guys just went straight to the dress shop and then didn't find what you were looking for and then walked out. And I was just like looking for you guys the whole time I was in there and I never found you.
Well, I think we saw Kristen pretty quick, and we're like, "Where did Mikhailo go?"
Yeah, we all just like opposite directions.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And then I didn't see you guys at all.
yeah, when I couldn't find anyone, I saw you guys had messaged that you were like sitting outside. So I saw you, and then I was like, "Oh, there's the pin store. Let me go buy my pins."
Yep.
And then we'll get on with our lives.
And then I found Kristen just as she was walking up to the register to pay. And I was like, oh, goodness. What are we getting ourselves into with these pins?
I think
they are
you
very
guys were
cool.
over your luggage weight with just those pins, weren't you?
Oh, God.
No, actually, I still had like 5 pounds worth.
Yeah.
In the
Oh,
suitcase going
okay.
home.
We did a good job. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we packed pretty well.
So
So-
going back to, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I was kind of glad that we went back and changed, other than your shoes, but because that had us all dressed up then for all of the pictures in front of like the gingerbread houses and the
Yeah.
big trees in the hotel lobbies and stuff. Which
Mhm.
I think we all got some really nice pictures from that.
And unbeknownst to us at the time, before we got there, it was Dapper Day.
Yeah.
And so people saw us walking around in your dresses, and
Mhm.
you know, you had arm candy on you. Anyway, you know me. But everyone's like, "Oh, happy Dapper Day!" We're like, "Yeah, we're doing Dapper Day." Yep.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
But you know, when we went over to the wilderness, and we took a boat from there back over to Contemporary, and that took forever.
Yeah.
And this is where I was worried about the cats again. So the whole way on the bus, I'm going,
the
blinders.
Disneyland cats.
No, I'm going, blinders, guys, blinders. We're not looking at any gingerbread. We're just going straight through. Like,
We're not messing with the vulture or whatever was hanging out by the dock.
Yeah, if we wouldn't have had to wait that long, you guys couldn't have kept trying to convince me that that was an animatronic bird.
It wasn't.
I told you
what do
it was
mean?
real.
It was an animatronic. It's all It's Disney. It's all animatronics.
Yeah, there was a bird on the dock at Wilderness Lodge that was drying itself, had its wings out basically, and we had Tammy convinced that it was an animatronic.
Until
You
it took
didn't.
a huge
It took a big poop. Yeah, it did.
Nobody had me convinced it was an animatronic. Anyway.
Anywho, since we waited so long for the boat, we did get a really pretty like sunset-y view as we
Mhm.
were coming up on the Contemporary.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
there's just something about walking up that dock and
Oh
like
my, that
Right?
was so
seeing
cool.
the Contemporary and being like, how
That was
the
so
heck
cool.
did one man envision this? And it's over 50 years old. Like,
Mhm.
it's just crazy because that's like still like a staple of Walt Disney World.
And
And,
I-
it's amazing.
And I have to
Mhm.
say, it's so tough because I've always wanted to stay at the Contemporary, and getting that type of view and just kind of like being in areas that I haven't been in before with the Contemporary, it just makes me want to stay there even more. Like, that was so cool. Like all okay, it's making it seem like we went on like a ride or something the way I'm talking about it. All we did was we took a boat to the dock that's behind the Contemporary, and we lost our minds over like walking up to the Contemporary. Like, that's all we did. That's all I'm talking about right now is just walking up to the Contemporary. But it looked so cool. Like, that view was. I was just taking pictures the entire time we were walking up to it. It was really cool.
You're such
I-
a nerd.
I loved our
I know.
stay at the Contemporary. I would stay there again for sure.
I actually got to have a moment like that, Michaela, when we were staying there, because I was sitting at the pool, and I would looked up at the building, and it was like, holy crap, like this is incredible, and I'm staying here right now. So I hope I get that when we're staying at the Polynesian.
Yeah, I hope you do too.
Yeah. It's a beautiful resort. Maybe we should mention the chance encounter that we had on the monorail as we sat there. Like, okay, before we do that though, have you ever seen the monorail loop that busy?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Like, we had to wait a while on the monorail. It hadn't even left the Contemporary. Like, it had to have been a good 10 minutes that we sat there waiting for traffic to clear, as they like to say. And when we got over to the Grand Floridian, it was nuts.
Yeah, and and the reason for that obviously was the gingerbread house and the tree at Grand Floridian, just because, that place was a madhouse. And hearing from people, like, it was just that way every single day, because everyone was trying to go to that gingerbread house and get pictures with that tree and just be in that lobby. So yeah, it was Grand Floridian's lobby was insane. It was just packed that whole time that we were there.
But the line to buy gingerbread was not that bad.
That's true. I mean, it was definitely a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but yeah.
Because I think that was also another party night. And like, I don't know if that could have contributed, like extra traffic, like in and out. Like, people were either leaving their fancy deluxe resorts to go to the party, or they're leaving the park because they didn't have a party ticket.
That wasn't
a
party
to come
night
back early.
It wasn't a party night because remember we watched Happily Ever After.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It was just nuts.
It's just all these people thinking that Disney's really cool because
Disney's
people
really
have
cool.
podcasts and they try to tell people, "Hey, Disney's really cool."
Hey, Disney's really cool. Did you know have a podcast? Anyways, so the gentleman that we met on the monorail, we started talking to him because, of course, Brian and I, we are Wisconsin gentlemen, and when we see other people wearing Wisconsin things, we have to say something. And so we were in the monorail, and we were standing over this kid who had a Green Bay Packers hat. And I think it was a Super Bowl hat.
Not just a Packers hat. It was like a NFC champion from the 90s hat. Like, this is vintage at this point. I remember when they were being sold, but let's not call me old right now.
You're old.
But yeah, so you kind of gave me this nod like, hey, do you see this? And I'm like, yeah, I see that. So I think it was either me or you that said go Pack Go or something. And he goes, yeah. And I said, I'm from Green Bay. He's like, no way, me too. And so then that's what kind of got the conversation going. And he explained that he's a cast member. He just finished his college program. And so we start unraveling things. Green Bay, he's got sisters in Stevens Point. Oh, my son's at Stevens Point. He's Mikhailo, I think that's when you mentioned your brother and your sister.
Well, the way it actually went was he was like, oh yeah, I went to Stevens Point and I was in the like he was like, I studied acting there, and I was like, oh cool, and I was like,
no, it was no, actually it wasn't that, and I'm correcting you only because it sets up the rest of the story better, because he said that his dream is to have a stage role at Disney. And that's when you said, oh, my brother is in New York trying to break into Broadway. My sister was with Cinderella and then the Frozen tour. And that's when he says, wait a minute, are you a Naherniak?
Which is funny. I get that all the time. Are you a Naherniak? Yes.
But do you get that outside of Wisconsin?
I mean, sometimes. But but I mean, to get it in Disney like that is crazy. So, but what we found out was he actually went to school with my brother, and he was like one of my brother's best friends. Like when Andre, my brother, was at Disney, this guy was one of the people that he like met up with and like hung out with. So yeah, it was just crazy to meet him on the monorail.
Yeah, and his girlfriend also said he's not going to tell you, but he has a YouTube channel. And so we asked him, what's your channel? And he said Bailey B. Harper is his name, Bailee. I'll link it in the show notes. And I said, you're kidding. We're already subscribed. And Michaela's like, we are? I'm like, yes, we are. So I'm bringing Jacob home from Stevens Point last week, and I'm telling him about this, and he goes, you got to meet Bailey? Jacob was the one that subscribed the Miles account to his channel, and we had no idea, but I had just seen his channel coming up as I'm looking through things on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, Jacob said he's like one of 2 Disney YouTube channels that he watches.
Yeah. So everyone go follow Bailey. Just such a small world.
It's a small world.
Oh my God.
After all.
Also, Bailey, if you're listening, congratulations on Flight of Passage. Bailey got
did.
stationed at Flight of Passage, so that's pretty cool.
We will not be at Animal Kingdom on a weekend when he's working, so that's because he works Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He said, and this is all on his channel, so it's not something that's protected or anything. But yeah, we'll be going on a Sunday, so we'll miss him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's congratulations to him. I think that's awesome.
So, moving on to what other things we did on the monorail loop, which was see the Grand Floridian lobby, which was packed, like we talked about. We saw the tree. We waited in line to get some gingerbread stuff from the Gingerbread House, which we could not go inside of. That's an inside joke if you listen to the podcast.
That should really be a thing.
It should be an outside joke because you can't go in it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's an outside joke. But then we got back on the monorail, and kind of the big thing that we were doing that night was we were having dinner at California Grill, and we did this on purpose. We timed it so perfectly that like we got there, we got settled. I think we got drinks. And then Happily Ever After was starting. So we went outside and we had our great spot to watch Happily Ever After, and we watched it, and it was awesome. Like I really enjoyed. Like we had seen, it wasn't Happily Ever After, but we've seen fireworks from up there before. But for some reason, these were just so much better.
Probably because it wasn't cold out.
That is true.
Happily Ever After is very special for Tabby and I. So to be able to stand up there without a giant crowd around us and enjoy that show. I also, Kristen, kept hearing you react to it as well and being like, yeah, she's getting it. Like,
Well, I just like the music. Like, I mean, it's a good show. When I went to Disney for the first time as an adult back in 2019 maybe, or 2017 with my sisters, like my older stepsister and like some of the kids, we all chose to go ride Splash Mountain instead of see the show. So my other sister saw it and she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you missed it. Like people were crying. So I had regrets not seeing it. And then like Kylo and I have got to see it a couple times in the last year, like since they were done with Enchantment. So it's just like grown on us in our very, I don't know what I'm trying to say, extensive like wedding planning. We chose that song to like have one dance to when we got married in May. So it was just special. And it was like special to see it up there with you guys, of course. And just to like see the fireworks like from behind the castle. Because like you never notice that when you're down there surrounded by 5 million people. Like my focus is the castle itself, like not necessarily the fireworks. So it's cool to see like the surrounding.
I didn't even know that they made different shapes until we watched it the first time we went to California Grill. I was like, oh my God, that's like the heart of Tafiti, and that's like Mickey's head, and like where did those come from? And Brian was kind of looking at me like I was insane, but yeah, that's like I'm always focused on the projections. I barely watch the fireworks, I feel like.
Yeah.
Whereas I've gone back and forth, and there are times even now that I'll watch it and I'll go, "Is that new?" And then I remind, like, no, that's not new. I can go back to the very first night it premiered and see that it was in there. But yeah, I just, because I try to go back and forth, and that's what brings that rewatchability into it, I think, is that there's so much going on now that you keep needing to watch it a different way.
That's something that Kristen does often with Disney. Is she'll be like, "Is that new?"
No.
And we'll notice either new things that they've brought on, or like things that like we haven't noticed before. You do mention that a lot when we're watching.
Okay, but the main things is like Small World, and they have been redoing all those dolls, so now they're all like the new updated faces, and it looks like they've painted. It looks new. Where was the other thing that we saw something?
You said it a lot.
What else did I say it on? You can't remember, so you don't even know.
Because you said it so many times.
Well, they're just updating things then.
So sometimes it's things that like just we haven't seen before. But that's the thing about Disney, is like there's just so many things that like you'll see, and that like you'll be like, because for us, we like for the most part now like pretty much understand like what's all in the parks. But you're still like seeing like things here and there that you're like, is this right? Like, did they do this? Has this always been a thing? So
there was one ride specifically, but now I cannot remember. But it seems like they updated it. Pirates. It was Pirates, wasn't it? They had like different lighting.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
it was the lighting in Pirates.
Well, yeah, I've actually, I think this trip I noticed that the lighting in Pirates was like less. Like
so then it was different.
Yeah,
it was new.
Well, let's get this train back on the track, or back on the monorail beam, I guess. But
yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk about the food at California Grill, because this is kind of one of those restaurants that I feel it's like one of the most fancy and elegant and amazing restaurants I've ever been to, and just the experience of going to California Grill has always been really great. And so I didn't have an issue with my food. Like, I didn't think anything was bad. I am just not a sweet potato kind of person. So when I had, and I ate it, but when when I got the steak, that was kind of like the only thing. Like, I didn't want to have to like get the Wagyu steak, which was like another like $40 or something like that. That was the only thing that I was like, like I am not a huge sweet potato fan. So that like I didn't love that part of the meal, but literally everything else about the experience was awesome, and was like really like up to par for California Grill. And just being there in general at all is really great. I was also kind of missing the 50th touches that they had up there, where like they took away all the pictures from like the opening of everything. I always thought that was really cool. They probably could have just kept that there, but whatever. But yeah, I was really happy that we were able to get back to California Grill.
Yeah, I had the same thing as you, Mikhailo, and I love sweet potatoes, so I loved mine. I was also really glad that I paid extra to do the wine pairing with my dinner. I really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it as well. I was able to get some sushi to start with, and then what did I got I had a fish. What kind of fish was it?
I don't
I don't even remember what kind of fish I had now. But it was really good. I remember the fish being really good, and the chocolate dessert. That was incredible. It had gold on it.
I had what's it called? The deer meat.
Venison.
Yes. I had a venison. And that was really good.
I had a whole venison.
I'll take one venison, please.
And the cherry like creme brulee was amazing. I thought the bread was really good with the whatever the butter they brought and then that oil.
Mm-hmm.
Really yummy. Mm-hmm. Although what I'm also missing from the 50th is I swear they brought you like a sparkling water on the table.
I asked for that. Yeah, remember that?
I remember you. But
yeah, I
it
asked
was like
for
complimentary.
it. Yeah, and we asked if it was complimentary, and they were like, no. And so I was like, oh, okay, well then don't bring that.
And also, we had good service, but I made a huge mess, and the lady did not come and scrape away my crumbs.
Oh yeah.
Like last time, I feel like that guy was like trying to clean any little
thing.
He
was on it, yeah.
I feel like there was some scraping going on once though.
One time.
There was once, yeah. Yep. I was actually, I don't know if you noticed, but I was doing it on my side, just myself.
Scraping.
Well, it was that. Honestly, it was that bread. We wouldn't have had to have scraped so much if it weren't for like the crumbly bread that we had. But that bread was so good that I'm okay with it.
It was good because it was crumbly like that.
Yeah,
it was really good. So it's a 3-course meal, so you get to pick all 3 courses, and we had to order them up front. But definitely I was a little worried with that because when we had gone in 2017, you could just order a la carte whatever you wanted to order. You didn't have to do a 3-course. So I was a little worried about that. But it worked out really well. Everybody got something they enjoyed. I wanted to get the venison too, but I chose not to. I went for the fish.
I was just happy to actually be able to eat there this time.
Yeah. Yeah, you weren't feeling good the first time.
No, I didn't eat anything the first time we went.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with the experience, and just like I said, like getting up there at all and being able to hang out up at the top of Contemporary is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then we took the party, literally took the party out to the Polynesian, and this is so it's funny, Brian. You talk about how like you learned a lot from us about like how to do Disney. We learned a lot from you guys of how to drink at Disney.
I'm so proud.
Because like it's just not actually, honestly, the 2 times that we've really gotten like we've drank a good amount has been at Trader Sam's. The 2 times on Disney property that we've done that. But yeah, so we were able to get into Trader Sam's, and it was interesting because there was a group with us on the monorail as we were going over to the Polynesian they were trying to do the same thing we were doing. So we basically, what time was this at?
Oh, it was 9:30. It was closer to 10, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was
Close to
after
10, yeah.
10 because I wasn't able to get that Dole Whip.
Okay.
But we basically ran to Trader Sam's to try to get on the wait list for tables at the end of the night. And so we ran over there, and they put I think it was like 3 parties that were like waiting there. They put the 3 parties on the waiting list. And so I was kind of like, oh, okay, like I guess like maybe this will happen, maybe it won't. And I can't remember. I think we all we got split up because like Kristen had to go to the bathroom, I had to go to the bathroom. And then the 2 of you just started ordering drinks at the
outside bar.
Yeah, the outside bar. So I was like, oh, okay, like we can do that. And so we joined you guys. I think you guys ordered us a drink. So we had our drink, and I was thinking like, okay, like we'll drink this drink out here. Like this is going to be the way we end the night, and that'll be fine. No. we
You
got
are
the
wrong,
text.
sir.
we got the text for Trader Sam's, and we were able to get in, and we were able to get a table. And like honestly, that's where the night like hit another level for me.
It really did.
Where I was like, here we go. Like we are doing this. And so we were able to get in there, and something that I found interesting, which is different from the Disneyland, is that almost every single drink we ordered did something. And I feel like in Disneyland, only like maybe 2 or 3 of the drinks actually made all of the like the scenery and stuff do stuff. But almost everything that we ordered did something. And it's funny, we did the same thing at Trader Sam's in Disneyland, because we just kept ordering things that we thought would look really cool. And so we ended up ordering like a bunch of drinks to drink on top of the drinks that we had gotten from outside. So
right. So yeah, when I got in line, like we stood there for a little bit, and she comes out and she's like, she was kind of surprised that there were all these people standing there. And then she took a couple of groups. She took like 2 groups in, and then she counted a little bit, and she's like, oh boy, I don't know that I'm going to get all of you in. And then she disappeared, and she comes back out with the list and started taking names, and she did not make it sound promising at all.
Yeah.
So that's why I went outside, because I was hell bent on getting a Hippopotami mug to take home. So I'm like, I'm getting my mug whether we're in there or not. And we weren't even halfway through those first drinks, and they called us in there. So yeah, it was. And it seems to me like if there is a mug to come with the drink, that's going to give you effects of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ordered 2 drinks that did not come with mugs, and she just brought them out and was like, here you go. That's my take on it.
With one of those drinks, she did like some joke or something. Like she was doing something. It wasn't apparent for many people, but I swear she came over and she tried to say some like joke that wasn't the funniest.
I actually, I think
I
remember
have, like bubbles or something.
Yes, she had. There was something they were supposed to do, and I think she just didn't do it as over the top as I saw other people do it. But yeah, I think that's the thing, is that like the bar itself will do things for the drinks that have special mugs, but then there are also other drinks that like the are they skippers? No, they're not skippers.
Yeah, they're called
What
skippers.
do they call them? Yeah.
Yep.
That like the skippers will do something. Like they'll do something, like the bar won't do it.
Was she like, are you a good swimmer or something? There was one that it was like, you have to be a swimmer. Because I remember I was like doing the stroke.
Yeah, that's
and
when
she
you
was
guys
like,
ordered...
you're a good swimmer.
Yeah, that was the Nautilus, when you guys ordered the Nautilus, the great big boat.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't.
Brian just kept ordering the zombie, which like we had.
I
at
ordered
Disneyland,
one zombie,
and just did. Oh, that was.
It tasted way better though this time. I think we just didn't stir it.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I remember that. Yeah.
I did. I ordered one outside, didn't I? And then I ordered the one inside.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to go back there and get every single drink off the menu.
No, yeah, that honestly, it was so fun. Like that was such a great night, and it was such a good way to like end the night. With and like we didn't like we'll get into the next day in another podcast. But like we weren't like wasted like by any means, but like we were like a good level. we were
having a good time.
I remember waiting for the minivan outside of the Poly and just being just like, I was real giggly.
I have I think it's a succession of pictures where I'm trying to take a picture of myself in front of the tiki guy in the middle of the the middle of the lobby, and here like I'm snapping pictures, and I've got Kristen like progressively getting into the picture.
The funny thing about that too was like I just wandered outside by myself because like that outside area is like my favorite area of the Polynesian. And I had
Yes.
no idea what you guys were doing. And then like we got home and I was looking at the pictures and I saw all those pictures of like you, the three of you with the tiki inside. And I was like, what the hell were they doing? Like, I was outside doing my own photo shoot by the stream and the lake,
The
I
waterfall.
was taking pictures of myself. I had no idea what you guys were
I didn't
doing.
even realize that. I think I was too busy plotting my way of asking somebody for a lei because I was going to give it to Kristen.
And you never did it.
I didn't. No.
But you did mention the minivan. That was also a great way to get back to the resort.
Mhm.
Pricey. I believe it ended up being $55, all said and done. But oh my gosh, like
At least we were with a safe driver.
Yes.
yeah.
Because
we'll talk about that later.
we almost did not make it back home.
That's how I felt taking the Uber from the airport to Pop Century. But
Oofda.
It was probably the same guy.
the mini driver though, like the minivan driver, she was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She had great stories to tell us. And the thing was
cartoons.
like, yes, she did. She played
Cartoons.
the Mickey Mouse shorts that I love so much. And she said she could turn on pretty much anything, but that's what we wanted. And Mikhailo's like, I want facts. Give me all the facts. And I don't think she can fact on demand, but like we were trying to get stories out of her of what she knows and who she's talked to and different things. And she pulled us right up to our building.
Yeah.
Like she didn't take us up to the bus stop. She took us into the back where our building was, which was really nice.
And I think that's kind of like the thing that minivans have over like just Lyft drivers is the minivan drivers know the property. When you say like, hey, I need to go to Pop Century, they're like, oh, what building? They're not just trying to get themselves there. Like they know like where to take you to get you like closest to your building. So I think that's definitely something that helps with minivans. I mean, it also helps to have like 4 grown adults with bank accounts that can put money towards a minivan ride. But yeah, they are expensive. But that was definitely very nice to be able to have that.
Absolutely was. And I'm glad that we decided to do that. I had always wanted to do that, and so now I have, and I'll be happy. So let us know what holiday shenanigans you may have gotten into while you were at Disney World this past holiday season. Come on out to Instagram or Facebook. We are at Miles from Main Street, or find us on our website, www.milesfrommainsT.com.
But like we always say,
some live close,
but others don't.
So let's talk about it.
We'll see you next time on Miles from Main Street.